This is a SnapEd New York video presentation.
Hello everyone, my name is Wendy Beckman and I'm a registered dietitian with the New York State Office for the Aging and SnapEd New York. Thanks for joining me today for What's Cooking with NYSOFA. Today we'll be making grilled fruit. We'll be posting a link to the recipe on the chat box, and you can also find the recipe on the SnapEd New York website at www.snapedny.org. Now, before I start putting the recipe together, let's look at the My Plate graphic. Today's recipe will be focusing on the fruits and vegetables section of My Plate. When thinking of fruit, remember to focus on whole fruit. 100% fruit juice can be included in a healthy diet, but whole fruit has something that fruit juice does not. And that's fiber. Fiber, although it is not a nutrient like vitamin C or iron, it's an essential part of our diet. Fiber aids in our digestion, and because food containing fiber empties out of the stomach slower than foods that don't contain fiber, it can help you to feel full longer. I like to say that fiber is your friend, so remember to include foods that are high in fiber in your diet. Everything you eat and drink over time matters. You want to find your healthy eating style and maintain it for a lifetime. The right mix can help you be healthier now and in the future. Now, before we start reviewing the recipe, remember to wash your hands with soap for at least 20 seconds or use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer before you start preparing your food. So now we are ready to make some grilled fruit. This recipe makes 3 servings, and I think that this grilled fruit is a nice light dessert that's low in added sugar and perfect for the summer months. If you're going to be making this fruit on a grill outside, you might want to use some skewers. Let me get some for you so I can show you what they look like. So these are the skewers that I have. Some of them are a little bit thicker, some of them are a little bit thinner, but I've soaked these in water so that will prevent them from getting burned. You want to do that for about 10 to 30 minutes before you use them. And these are already a little bit damp, so they're ready to go. So let me just grab a few of these. And I'm going to be using this electric grill here. And the grates on this grill aren't really too far apart, so I might be able to get away with making the grilled fruit without using the skewers, but I'm going to use them anyway just in case. This recipe is super simple. There's no mixing, only preparation of the fruit. So once it's the size and shape that you want, if you put it on the skewers, then you just grill it, and that's it. So let me show you what I'm going to grill today. So I have a few different types of fruit. I have some pineapple. This is fresh pineapple chunks, but you can use canned as well. I also have some bananas here. I'm going to slice those into chunks. I have some watermelon here. You can also use cantaloupe or honeydew melon. I have some pears. I'm going to cut those into some pieces. We're going to grill those. And these are some fresh peaches. These are actually the white peaches, and I'm going to cut these up. You can use the canned ones. You can use fresh, whatever you want. So I actually also have some canned peaches. These were peach halves that I had, and I cut them into some smaller pieces. If you use just the halves, you probably can grill them without cutting them at all. But I just happened to have them in the pantry, and I decided to use them, and we'll see how they come out. You can tell us in the chat box if you can think of any other types of fruit that you would like to try and grill. Remember that all forms of fruits and vegetables count. Fresh, frozen, canned, or dried can all count towards your daily intake. When choosing frozen items, look for products without any added sugars, syrups, gravies, or anything like that. When choosing canned varieties, look for low sodium and low sugar options. Now, if you have difficulty using a knife and you don't want to do a lot of cutting, sometimes canned or frozen items can be used because they're often already cut into pieces. Just keep in mind that frozen items, once they're thawed, and canned items will be softer than their fresh counterparts. Canned and frozen fruits and vegetables have been blanched or cooked just slightly before they were canned or frozen. So because of that, you might not have to grill them quite as long as their fresh counterparts. And obviously, think of the size of the item. The peach halves that I have here, I cut them up into smaller pieces, but they certainly can be grilled, usually if they're whole. But something like diced peaches, that's not going to work out very well. They're most likely going to end up at the bottom of your grill, lost forever, and that would be pretty sad. So another thing to keep in mind when using frozen or canned items is to make sure that you drain them well. You might want to put them in a colander and let them sit for a few minutes before you put them on the heat. So let's put some of this fruit on the grill and see how it turns out. I preheated the grill and I have it on medium-high heat right now. I might have to turn it up or down. We'll just see how it turns out. We'll see what happens. So we're going to use one of these skewers and we'll start putting some fruit on. Here's some watermelon and here is some of the pineapple. And let's put a piece of the peach on there too, just to see how that comes out. And I'm going to put this on the heat and we'll see how that works. Now, I'm also going to cut some of these things up here. So let's start out with the bananas. I'm going to have to peel this one first. And you're probably going to want the bananas to be, pretty large chunks so that you don't, like I said before, you don't want them too small. You don't want them to fall through to the bottom. So there we go. And when you're cutting, you want to make sure that you curl your fingers under to keep them away from the blade of the knife and just go slowly. You don't want to take it too fast. You don't want to get into the situation where you're sort of distracted and not paying attention to what you're doing and get your fingers in the way. That would not turn out well. So there's our banana. And let's get some of these pears going here. So one of the things I like to do is just cut around the outside, and that will get the core out of the way. We can cut these, and then we can get rid of that core. And then we can cut these sort of into some larger chunks here. That looks pretty good. All right. That piece we can put over here. All right. And the last thing I have is the peaches. So let's just get one of those going here. We could do the same thing. I'm going to turn this over and see about how that looks like. There we go. So let's get the same thing going on with the peach. We're going to cut on the outside of the peach so that we can go around the pit. Make sure your fingers are out of the way. There we go. And then we can just cut that peach into some chunks. All right, that's pretty good. All right, so you can make sure that, depending on who is going to have the grilled fruit, maybe they want all the same kind of grilled fruit. Maybe they want a variety of different kinds of grilled fruit. So you can try and do it both ways. So I'm going to on this one, I'm just going to put some just pineapple. Maybe somebody you have who's going to eat with you, they only want pineapple and they don't want anything else. So I'm going to do that one, just some pineapple. Be careful when you're putting the skewers on there. And this one I'm going to do a bunch of different fruits. So we have some of the watermelon and we got bananas and we're going to do some pineapple. And let's put a piece of peach on there. Why not? We can do some of the pears and the fresh peaches. Okay, lost my peach. That's all right. All right, so that's one of the reasons why you want to do the skewers, right? Because sometimes it can fall off. Okay, so that's pretty much what it looks like when you have them on the heat. One of the things that you could do if you wanted is you could add a little bit of cinnamon. You could put it on all the fruit. You can put it on just some of them. I am going to put it all over the fruit here on this one and this one, but I'm going to leave it off of the pineapple. All right? So it just depends on your taste, just depends on what you really want to do with it. And then you probably want to turn it on a sort of regular basis to get all sides of it. Oh, that's kind of cool. You can see that some of the pear had gotten a little browned, so that's really neat. And look at that on the pineapple. That is really neat. See that? And so this is a great way to make fruit part of your meal, but in a different way, right? One of the things that sometimes people get hung up on about fruit is that there's sugar in fruit. Oh, I'm not supposed to eat fruit because there's sugar in it, but remember, what we want to limit or avoid is added sugar. The sugar that is happening in our fruit, that is naturally in our fruit, is naturally occurring, right? We didn't add any sugar to this. We didn't have to. It's already sweet enough. So you don't have to worry about sugars that are naturally occurring in fruits. And the reason for that is because items that are made with added sugar, so think of something like a candy, hard candy. It's just got sugar added to it. That sugar doesn't have any fiber associated with it, right? But fruit has fiber in it, and fiber helps to slow down the absorption of the carbohydrates into your bloodstream. So one of the things that is really great about fruit is that it doesn't have the same effect on your blood sugar than maybe some added sugars do. So just keep that in mind. It's okay to eat fruit. They're healthy for you. There's lots of vitamins and minerals in there, and it's great for you to have. And this smells really good. It's really kind of neat. It smells a little bit like apple pie with the cinnamon on there. So I hope that this is something that you might want to try. It's something different to do in a nice, healthy dessert. So I hope that this recipe has given you some more ideas on how you can focus on whole fruit as part of your healthy diet. Don't forget to join me in August when we'll be making a cucumber berry salad. It's another great summer option. Join me for the next edition of What's Cooking with NYSOFA on Friday, August 26th at 12:30 p.m. right here on the New York State Office for the Aging Facebook page and our YouTube channel, where you can find out more ways to save time, save money, and eat healthy. This presentation was funded by the U.S. Department of Agriculture. This institution is an equal opportunity provider. Stay safe, everyone, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you for joining us today. We know the healthy choice isn't always the easiest choice, but small changes can make a big difference. Start today by getting involved with SNAP Ed New York. This program is free for those who qualify or receive SNAP benefits. We want to help you save time, save money, and eat healthy. Learn how SNAP Ed can make a difference in your life. For more information and to find your local program, visit snapedny.org. This material was funded by USDA's Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. SNAP. This institution is an equal opportunity provider.